think if you think about AI, and very traditionally AI has really been a lot of machine learning, and now we're moving to more of the generative AI. I think it's going to continue to add ways to complement the human, not necessarily replace the human, especially in healthcare. I think we're seeing that pressure from a clinical decisioning perspective, that it's not, people don't want AI to make the decisions, but they want it to make it easier for the clinicians and others to aggregate data. If you get a really long medical record, how do I find the right things to look at? And how do I pre-screen? How do we make administrative edits in healthcare, which we know are burdensome to both the consumer and the provider, more seamless? So things that we can do around what we would call a smart prior auth that actually looks at diagnosis codes, looks at lab values and others. And so do you actually need a prior auth, or do you know that that's actually an appropriate utilization based on the data that already exists? So I typically break the technology into really three buckets. There's, clinical innovation that's happening, and you can look at how AI, CRISPR, other things are affecting new drugs coming to market with digital twins, how they're creating some of the cell and gene therapies. I think you second have more operational technology. So how is AI and robotics and other things making it, cheaper to produce a drug, cheaper to serve a member, cheaper to, fill the drug at the retail pharmacy. And then I think the third, big bucket is really all around the engagement of the member and provider, and how can we think about AI and analytics and other technologies to personalize the way we receive care. We know that today's healthcare, is too complex. It's really hard to navigate for the average consumer. We're paying too much out of pocket. So, what can technology help us do to make better decisions, to save money, to navigate this complex system? That's where I spend a lot of my time thinking. In a variety of ways today. Some of it is your simple, Microsoft tools that allow people to, get a meeting insight or do some of the things that you see in the Microsoft suite or others. You see some things happening from listening to calls and being able to, transcribe some notes. I think you see us beginning to look at it in the RFP process, and you get a pretty standard set of RFP questions. How do we go through those and look for common responses and personalized responses? I think you're seeing us use it much more around the machine learning process today. And so how do we do more data analysis and other things too, as I talked about, kind of the smart prior auth that is looking for data to present to the clinician. And I think we're beginning to look at a lot more opportunities with our clients where there are tools that are in the mutual benefit, or as I said, even in what we can do from a conversational AI or a chat bot that can support the member or others in some of their questions, especially where there's predetermined replies that can be coded or can be trained around understand my benefits, or is this pharmacy in network, or things like that.